Improving lives one cycle at a time. Nonprofit organization Saricycle is aiming to help solve socio-economic issues in the country like poverty and unemployment by building startup sari-sari stores in different communities. Saricycle is led by a group of students, and some of them are joining us right now here in the studio. We have Saricycle founder and executive director Mikaela Lim, president and finance director Matthew Chua, and public relations director Diego Reyno. Good morning and thank you for being here. Guys, my first question, why aren't you in class? What are you guys doing here so early? How come you're not in school? I'm teasing you, of course, because I am so impressed that people of your age are doing something so admirable already and at such a young age. So let's talk about it. Saricycle, how did it begin? Who wants to take that one?
Okay, I can take this one. So Saricycle began in 2020, which was like the peak of the pandemic.
Yep.
And it was kind of inspired by my grandfather because he started our family business by just starting up a small sari-sari store here in Manila.
Right.
So I saw this as an opportunity for fellow Filipinos who don't have the resources and can't afford it. So that's what Saricycle is here for, to hopefully help Filipinos and this can prosper, and then they can achieve financial security and sustainable income.
That's amazing. Come on. Why did you name it Saricycle?
It actually came from two words. So sari, obviously from sari store, and cycle because we want to continue the cycle. We're no longer in poverty and battling it. However, we're overcoming it by just starting up with just a sari store, and hopefully it will grow and grow in the future.
That's great. I mean, you guys are sort of kickstarting it, and there's sustainability or the long term in mind. How many communities have you guys supported so far? How do you go about choosing the communities that you work with?
Well, so far we have 42 different stores in 5 different areas of the Philippines.
Okay.
Sampang Uac, Laguna, Antipolo, Cavite, and Pampanga.
Okay, how do you choose who you guys work with?
Yeah, so essentially the process of creating a Saricycle store consists of 4 different stages. So firstly, we interview all of the possible candidates in an area.
Yeah.
Secondly, we have a mock Saricycle store in order to guide our beneficiaries on how to run their business.
Yeah.
Thirdly, we have an orientation wherein we discuss the logistics of opening up a store, as well as going to the sites and measuring them in order to figure out how many of each material we need in order to build these stores. And finally, after a month of managing them, we finally let them become independent business owners.
Cool. All right. What's the experience like? I mean, surely it's been an eye-opener for you. It would be an eye-opener for me if I took on a project like this. What was it like? What did you guys learn, and what was the big takeaway?
I think the big takeaway is that there's many people in the Philippines who are struggling that we may not see every day in our lives, but in this experience we saw very impoverished areas from Sapang Uwak to the mountains, and this is just a great opportunity because we get to see firsthand and help them and uplift them from poverty.
Matthew, what was the highlight experience for you as you guys built these stores?
I think the highlight was really interacting with the community, so we were able to really find out about the situations of each store owner.
Yeah.
So for example, one of my favorite stories was a store owner in Laguna. So she's a single mother.
Yeah.
And before we gave them a sari-sari store, she was getting wholesale goods like Yakult, and she was going around the streets selling it by herself. And I think that really inspired us to help her out because she's a single mother and she has a son who's I think 5 years old, and he's about to start school. So she's trying to raise as much money as possible to send them all the way through college.
Right. It's such a win-win for everybody. I mean, you guys are helping these communities, and at the same time, you're being your eyes are being open to what the situation is out there, and it's so great to see that you guys are out there actually understanding what the situation of many of our countrymen is. Now, after you've built these sari-sari stores, it doesn't end there. You already mentioned the idea of a cycle of just starting things off and really sort of inculcating this mindset of how to keep it going. So how will these store owners continue with these livelihood projects?
Yeah, so during the orientation, we provide them with an owner's manual, and it contains guidelines about how to price goods, how to manage finances, how to record sales and expenditures, and much more.
Wow.
And we ask for the first 4 months, we ask for bi-weekly updates about the progress of each store and how much sales they've made, so we can help them out a bit, tell them which goods are selling well in their stores, so they'd buy more of that,
Yeah.
and which goods aren't, so they'd stop purchasing that. Yeah.
I wish you guys were around when I was sort of figuring out business. I mean, I could have used a manual like this. Have you learned? I mean, obviously there's a lot of lessons to be learned here with this initiative, helping our kababayans out. But talk to us about the sense of fulfillment that you guys are getting. You know, when you see your project sort of come to fruition, what did it mean to you? Let's go around, Jacob.
Well, for me personally, I really loved going around and meeting all the different people because, you know, for me, it really felt that I was making a difference in their lives and making their lives better.
And it must be such a great sense of fulfillment. I mean,
Yeah,
you guys are
absolutely.
out there really making a difference at such a young age. What's the future plan? Where do you take this project next? How are you going to make it grow?
Well, we are planning on expanding to both Bataan and Batangas. However, that's not to say we're going to stop there.
Yeah.
We are also going to plan in the future to expand to other areas of the Philippines as well. So if you do want to follow our progress, make sure to follow us on both Instagram and Facebook at Saricycle.
Okay, you chose the right guy as your PR
Yeah.
guy. Congratulations, you guys are doing an amazing job at this project. And I wish you the best of luck. Please continue doing what you're doing. You still have time to make it to class if you guys hurry. Thank you for joining us this morning. We just talked to Diego Reyno, Mikaela and Matthew Chua of nonprofit organization Saricycle. Well done, guys.
Thank you so much for having us.